Hi friends, welcome to this pre-market analysis of Nifty, where on a chart we try to make informed guesses of where buyers and sellers are. So this is Nifty on a daily time frame, and these are the levels and the fair value gaps that we had drawn yesterday. This was the range that we had drawn for Nifty. It had opened well below the support level that we had drawn, the buyer's level, and then it was bought into. So that was the final target for Nifty in this on a daily time frame, and then the open was well below it. There was big buying that came into it, mostly driven by positivity from the IT sector. Looks like there's some clarity coming into how the IT companies are going to drive their businesses and revenue forward. TCS seems to be pivoting towards more of building sovereign clouds for the European clients, and others are also coming out with products. We'll see a lot of these news is coming out in the coming days. Now, let's, as usual, start with our normal analysis. We start with the monthly time frame. We do monthly, weekly, daily, 4-hour and 1-hour analyses, and we try to get a input a bias into each of these columns, and then find out if there are any levels of big buyers and sellers that we're sure of. Right here in a monthly time frame, there is no bias. I still do not have a bias on Nifty. Why do I not have one? Because there is no higher lows created. This low was the higher low created. It was invalidated in March. There's no lower highs created either. So that's that. And where are the sellers? The big sellers are right here. Let me give it a thicker line. This is where the big sellers are. That's where the sell-off has started. Looks like it is still being sold off. I do not know. Let's go. We'll find out as we go forward. And where are the buyers? The buyers are right here. As simple as that. Going over to the weekly time frame. On this is a weekly time frame. What is a bias on a weekly time frame? Well, it is bearish. So this is a swing high and this is a lower swing high. So this is a weekly time on a weekly time frame. It is supposed to be bearish. That's that. And where are the buyers and sellers? Well, I believe I'll mark it up on a daily time frame. Well, let me just mark this fair value gap right here, because this has been where the support is being taken for on multiple weeks, and it still is holding up against the big sellers. Let's see how much more liquidity is there in this area that it can prevent a big fall from coming in. And if a big fall does happen on a monthly time frame, you see this is the target. That's 22,182. That's pretty low. Going over to the daily time frame. On a daily time frame, what is a bias for Nifty? And bias for Nifty is bearish, because this is a swing high and this is a lower high that's formed. And there's a fair value gap that's it's right there. Let's just mark it. There's a fair value gap that sits right there. So that gives Nifty a tight range now. Now, what is a the target? The target for Nifty right now, since this target has been taken, now the target lies way down. If I just see these three candles, these three red candles as an order block. Let me just go back to the weekly candle. No, it doesn't hold good. Sorry for that. Now, if we just take these three candles as an order block, and I just measure all this and see the midpoint that right there. Let me just mark it up. This could act as a support. At least that's what I feel. This could be a support for this if this is an order block. These red candles an order block. The big boys were gathering all your orders there before it just sent Nifty shooting up to the sky. So that could be the next support level. Yeah, that's that. And now I have marked the fair value gap, and it is bearish. Going over to the 4-hour time frame. On a 4-hour time frame, Nifty is bearish. This is a swing high, and a lower high has been formed. Target is the same right here. Target is indeed the same right there. Going over to the hourly time frame. On an hourly time frame, once again, the bias is bearish. Of course, the bias is bearish, and then since the upper areas of this fair value gap has been tested, the lower area could be tested. Then this could be another level that we need to watch out for. So it's all bearish for Nifty, and let's see what happens today. Once again, I'm not a certified analyst. I do this only for educational purpose. Thank you.